And we are back. I decided I'm just going to probably bulk record all, like, 9 that I've already got thinged, like, already fully done. Like, I've done Spyro, Gilgrunt, Trigarpy, Zook, Sonic Boom, and I'm kind of enjoying a mix-up of elements. I've already done a tech and I've already done a water type. I'm kind of enjoying like a mix-up, so I thought, do I go for one of the characters that released pretty much as DLC for the first game, or do I go for one of the first Skylanders I actually ever bought after Christmas? I thought, I'm going to go for the one which I bought after Christmas. I think he's a very seriously misunderstood Skylander. Prism Break. This is the Prism Break review. And I'm not gonna lie, I 100% understand why a lot of people don't like him. I've been watching Crash of Skyland's Second Chance series, and I think he turned Prism Break into kind of like. But Prism Break is a lot better in 2-player. I'm not gonna lie, it's definitely good in the core. So. Oof. Boom.
Okay, now this party just became official, because we got chompies in the house.
I kinda like this ability to be fair, I kinda like this.
Now you attack the Skylander. Ah, the humanity. Never miss being out there, Chill Bill, fighting Skylanders, living the life.
Not really. I mean, sure, it was an exciting time, but I feel I have settled into my true niche working here in sports broadcasting. And with
I can just spam this ability and like nothing will be able to kill me.
Oh yeah, you can say goodbye to that enemy. No, I'm pretty sure he can't hear you.
see you later, non-alligators.
Broccoli guys all, what? Okay, it's just some fearless feedback. The Skylanders should probably try to not get.
And I do think I understand why people don't like this Skylander. Like I really do. He's not. He really isn't a great Skylander at all. And it's kind of sad because he's one of my pets. I think he's a very misunderstood Skylander. I really do. I think he's good. I do think he's alright. I do have a good time playing him, but he's definitely better in 2-player where you can sort of like where your friend can sort of draw aggro, and you can kind of just sort of set up.
Believe me, it does not taste good. Dust, I mean, not good.
Boom.
Beautiful day for an arena battle. Eh, broccoli guy?
Some free advice for you here, Skylander. The next time you see food, you might want to eat it. Oh yeah, although full disclosure here, I don't think the weather ever actually changes in this place. And it's the same every day.
Yes, I get it, broccoli guy.
I'm actually struggling. Like this might be the first time I actually die in one of these arenas.
So how'd you get a name like Chill Bill anyway?
Well, at first I was just Bill. Cool, and I like to freeze people, so the rest just kind of wrote itself. This arena battle is brought to you by Farmer Bill's.
He doesn't do a lot of damage. Like I've noticed. Like I'm noticing that now. His design is amazing. Like, he's probably one of my favorite designed characters.
Another round in the books, and it's still
Like his design is so cool. He looked really bad in the original games. Like he didn't look great. Like it's much better now. Let's go into his upgrade. So basically, he's got his energy beam, holds fire, powerful, and powerful energy beam. It's not very powerful. Summon crystal shard. Summons one single crystal shard. You can reflect a beam off it, which is very, very tactical. Which is cool. Yeah, it's cool. Super crystal shard. So the crystal shards are bigger and do increased damage. So that's good. It makes them bigger. But that's not exactly great because like you're very rarely when you're dropping this, you're very rarely hitting it. This thing only hits, I think this thing only hits 3 times if you fully use it. and you move slower while using it, obviously, so you got to be very careful with that. Then there's my favourite ability, you know, the crystal eruption. Press triangle, someone damage around crystal eruption. So basically, this is an amazing defense. Someone gets too close to you, you use this, and you get away from them. Emerald energy beam. The beam attack does extra damage, which is kind of needed because the base damage on these things are pretty garbage. And then the last thing on his face, so split energy beams divide again if they pass through a crystal shard. So basically that's how you can get like an instant amount of, like an infinite amount of beams by summoning that. Which is pretty cool. Not gonna lie. So all in all, looking at it, it's like first set. Like you've got an ability which is, you know, not very good. Because, let's be honest, you're very rarely hitting this ability anyway. At this point you can only summon one crystal as well, so you're very rarely hitting that. Good ability, followed by a decent ability, followed by, you know, a very tactical ability. It's very rare you're really going to kill anybody. Like, so it hits 4 times on a full thing.
Skylander leveling up. By saying booyah, yeah, it seemed like a good idea at the time.
Oh, that's nice.
I don't know what he's just honestly just kind of like not doing anything. If his beams had like infinite range, like when they reflect, like, it'd be so much better. But because they do, it's not exactly that great.
Whoa, we got ourselves a classic case
Like,
of defeated enemy right there.
I like how when you smash his crystals, like you get like the little shatter and it does a bit of damage. Like that's pretty cool. But
Oh wow, chill.
so this Soul Gem's so good against stuff like Chompers, where you can literally just summon a bunch of them. So you just find yourself spamming this ability. And bearing in mind that ability is only that big as well because I've gone into the path to upgrade it.
Hey, even Broccoli Guy has to reuse some lines now and then, so just don't hate, okay?
Don't bring that stuff in here.
Ouch, babe.
Cool.
Love it. Love it, love it, love it.
Skylanders were heavily favored going into this.
So there's the two skill trees that he's got.
I think that really goes to show you how
Very.
I mean, come on. Picking the guys who always win to
It's kind of hard to explain. Like the other one I don't really like. Like, it is okay, but I just personally don't like it all that much.
See you later, non-alligators.
Okay, did you just randomly get stuck into my thingy and die?
and another one bites the dust. And believe me, too, it does not taste good. Dust.
So the other reason I've got the light core versions as well of him because my OG version I traded for. Basically, a long time ago I was a bit of a con man in school, and I made out as though this character was like ridiculously overpowered,
And looking back and
and
what were we thinking?
I swapped it for a Series 1 Eruptor because I didn't use him that much. I got him fully leveled and stopped using him.
Wait, no.
So onto his skill trees. So massive crystal eruption, that's where he gets like, because obviously he hits once and the first wave of crystals come out, which is just that ability. Then this one gives a second wave of thingy, which is a ridiculously good ability. I don't care, it's really strong. Then there's this one which summons 3 crystal shards at once, which this is a lot better because with its damage increase than the previous upgrade. Like I think it was the one that's over here. Like all 3 of the damages are the same, so therefore you've got a higher chance of hitting this. And because they're landing, like I think the front one lands first and the left or the right one, you have a chance to drop one crystal and the crystal will knock it into another one. You can basically chain the crystal. Hard to hit ability still, but good. And then there is this, which is a new crystal, increases Prism Prism. So basically that increases defenses, which I'm not really a big fan. When, for instance, this character already has very high defenses. Like, I think a character like Trigger Happy would benefit off a type of defense, but you don't really have one. So I really do like this ability, but you become nigh unkillable in normal mode. Like, well, I mean, unless you get swarmed like I did just then. We go down the other one, so it gets the golden diamond energy beam. So basically, the damage deals even more damage, which to be fair, doesn't do terrible damage at the moment. This one, it reflects into 3 when coming off. Like, when are you really using this tactically enough to be reflecting constantly? Like, I see where they were going with this, like very high skill character, but you're never really doing it. And the energy beam has increased range. Like, you're very rarely setting up your crystals just to hit this. That's not too bad with it doing more damage, but then even with this, like, increased range, like, it doesn't really matter. Because if they get too close to you anyway, you can just use your crystal eruption anywhere. And then there's this, basically, anytime you kill an enemy with your energy beam, they'll become a little single crystal, which can reflect. So all in all, I recommend this skill tree up top, because you get a bit of everything. And this one, it literally just your damage is increased with your beam, your range, and you can shoot, you get 3 little beams, whereas this increases your crystal eruption, your actual crystal shards, your armor. I think that's definitely a skill tree to go. And when I placed him on the portal in this game, when I placed him on the portal in this game, I was like instantly in love. I was like, oh my god, he looks so much better in this game than he did in any of the other ones. Because in the other one he was real blocky and he didn't look great at all. And that kind of sucked. In this one, like, he's real high turned, which I quite like. Slam down on him. My mate Callum used him on one. He thought it was okay, I think, if I remember correctly. So at some point, me and Callum will probably do like our top 10 favourite Skylanders or something. Like, Callum's number 1 will probably be either Slobbertooth or Pop Prisoner in his look, unless he decides he really likes another one. Because I'm going to start letting him use, because I sort of sectioned out the things that he can use, like, he's got like his own Skylanders when he comes here. So it's been good. Like, I think it's fun to play. I do think it's fun. I think he definitely benefits from having a partner with him to draw some aggro. Like, he can either go in and tank hits, or it can become very useful, like in terms of like setting up. Oh, I'm taking a lot of damage here. Oh, I don't mind, I got a heal. Get him to kill himself. I don't know why, sometimes when you slam dunk on them, it for some reason sets off the beam for a second. I don't know, it's an interesting, I know that it's not great, like, I understand why, like, Crash the Skylanders, I didn't like him at first, because he's not exactly a great Skylander, by all means. But he's definitely one who you kind of want in your collection, because he's interesting, and he's very unique. There's no other Skylanders like him. Or at least none that I know of so far, anyway. And I like on how, obviously, how tactical you need to be, like, reflecting your crystals and that to get the maximum range and damage, really. That to me is like a very cool concept, like the whole reflection of the crystals.
Oh, this might be a good time to bring in Broccoli Guy. Oh, wait a minute. That's a totally different game. Never mind.
Cool. This Skylander is taking some serious punishment. Might want to think about some serious retaliation too.
If I were in the Skylanders shoes right now, I would not want to get hit like that anymore. And I'd probably be tripping out on how weird it is to finally wear shoes. Oh wow.
Easy.
It is a pretty bad day.
I think he's had the closest call almost dying, but that's because he's very tactical. He don't work well on his own.
Oh yeah.
But is Prism pretty good?
Although I'll be honest and tell you,
Not really. Not really. He is very unique, and you should definitely have him in your collection, because he's unique, he's interesting. But I don't recommend you. If you ever decide to play any of the later games, I only recommend using him in like the early difficulties. Like, it looks cool, but he's not that strong. Like, all the 3 abilities he's got, that leads you at a disadvantage because it only hits about 4 times. Also, bear in mind you move slower while doing it, and it can get interrupted. Your crystal shard, you're very rarely hitting, and when you do it, don't look like deal a lot of damage. The only thing you're really only using your massive crystal eruption and your crystalline armor. Really, that's about it. So, that said, but he's very fun to play. And he's a very cool design. Like, you can't say that this big. If it was a bit bigger, he'd look, you know, a bit better. But I think, unfortunately, I've got to give him I don't know. My first instinct was to give him a 2.5 or a 2. But his beam does do decent damage if you manage to hit it all. Again, all of his damage is good if you can hit it, but it's if you can hit it. I'm going to give him a 2.5. Nah, I can't put him on the same level as Gilgrunt. I really can't. Nah, a 2. 2 out of 5. Definitely pick him up if you don't have him, because he's fun, he's interesting, he works especially well in co-op, especially because obviously you can just run in tank damage with his Crystal Eruption, and obviously if he can set up, then he's even better. Like, especially if you're running like a more supportive Skylander like Whirlwind who can heal your allies, he's definitely worth picking up. But thanks for listening to this one. Hopefully you kind of agree with this one, because this was a real difficult one for me to do, because I love, and I'm talking love, Prism Break. But when he came out for the first game, he wasn't very good in the first game, because the first game came out in 2012, it had its bugs. Like, Zook could do damage, Sonic Boom could do damage, Trick Happy Gilbert Spiral, Robot, they could all hit damage, whereas this guy, like, he was very gamble, like, you either hit some or you don't. But definitely pick him up, he's definitely worth picking up. 2 out of 5 seems reasonable. I'm not saying he's bad, I'm just saying he's very high skilled, I'd say. But the next episode I will be covering either Ghost Roasted Robot or Bombshell. Just let me know if you want to see any other Skylanders, and thank you for watching.